Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's me again, Golden Blue Dude. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. This channel is home of at least one college football video every single day. And yes, I'm going to start doing college basketball videos as well once conference play starts. Today, I wanted to rank all the bowls from what I think could be the worst bowl to the best bowl. And there's 5 criteria that I used. Number 1, brand recognition. It matters if you know who's playing. Like some names, Middle Tennessee, who is that, you know? Never heard of them. What conference are they in? The second thing is their 2021 record. I mean, there could be a matchup where a really good team is playing a really bad team. Nobody wants to watch a blowout. The third criteria kind of falls in line with that. Where they finished in their conference. You don't want a 6th place team playing a 2nd place team. That could be a blowout as well. The fourth criteria, how good of a matchup is it? Like offense versus defense, strength versus strength, a good offense versus a bad defense, or a bad offense versus a good defense, or a good on good. And finally, the last criteria, which kind of just brings everything together, and that's watchability. How much do I actually want to watch this particular bowl? So there's 43 bowls, not counting the national championship because we don't know who's in the national championship yet. And I'm going to rank them from 43rd to 1st. Here we go. Number 43, the bowl that I'm least interested in. I'm not interested in at all. I still might watch it. I haven't made up my mind yet. The Hawaii Bowl. This features Memphis, who finished the season 6-6, 7th in the AAC, and they're taking on, of course, Hawaii. Makes sense. The Hawaii Bowl, right? Well, Hawaii's 6-7. They barely made a bowl. They finished 5th in the Mountain West. They're actually one of the reasons why they had to create an extra bowl, because there was more teams that were bowl eligible than what they thought there was going to be. So thank you for that, Hawaii. And sorry, your reward is the worst bowl. I'm not interested in this bowl at all. Number 42, the Bahamas Bowl. This features Middle Tennessee. Remember that boring team I was talking about at the beginning of the video? Yeah, they're in the Bahamas Bowl. They finished the season 6-6, 4th in Conference USA East, and they're going up against Toledo, who was 7-5, and they finished 3rd in the MAC West. Not really interested in this game at all. Not going to go into it all that much. It looks boring. Number 41, the famous Idaho Potato Bowl. This features Kent State, who finished 7-6, 1st in the MAC East, so they did finish 1st in their division, and they're taking on Wyoming, who finished 6-6, 4th in the Mountain West. I guess they're evenly matched up, but still, Kent State, Wyoming, doesn't really spark my interest at all. Number 40, I think this is the bowl that they had to make up. The Frisco Football Classic. This features North Texas, who finished 6-6, 3rd in Conference USA West, and they're going up against Miami of Ohio, who also finished 6-6, and they finished 2nd in the MAC East. So at least their records are the same, and they finished in the similar spots for their different conferences, but still, I don't think it's going to be exciting. But who knows? I could be wrong. Number 39, the Celebration Bowl. This is the FCS Bowl. I actually have it ranked above some FBS bowls. I think it's going to be better. This features South Carolina State, who finished 6-5, 1st in the MEAC, and they're taking on Jackson State, who finished 11-1, 1st in the SWAC. Now, the records are a little bit lopsided, so this could get out of hand, but this does have the Deion Sanders factor, the coach for Jackson State. That's why I ranked this bowl a little bit higher. Number 38, the Myrtle Beach Bowl. This features Old Dominion, who finished 6-6, 3rd in Conference USA East. They're going to be taking on Tulsa, who finished 6-6 as well, and they finished 5th in the AAC. This could be a little bit better than some of the bowls I've already mentioned, but still, I don't know. I can't get excited for this bowl. Number 37, the Camellia Bowl. This features Georgia State, who finished 7-5, 2nd in the Sun Belt East, and they're going to take on Ball State, who finished 6-6, 4th in the MAC West. This could be an entertaining game, who knows, but Georgia State, Ball State, don't really know too much about these teams, and that's why it ranked a little low on my list. Number 36, the Armed Forces Bowl. We have Missouri, who finished 6-6, 4th in the SEC East, and they're going to take on Army, who finished 8-3. Both of these teams have anemic offenses. Army has a great defense. I don't think a lot of points are going to be scored. Therefore, I think this could be a boring bowl. Number 35, the Lending Tree Bowl. Eastern Michigan finished 7-5, 5th in the MAC West, and they're going to take on Liberty, who also finished 7-5. This could be a decent game, but once again, name recognition. Liberty bumped it up just a little bit, but Eastern Michigan, don't know too much about them, don't really care too much about them either. Number 34, the Quick Lane Bowl. Western Michigan, who finished 7-5, 6th in the MAC West. They're going to be taking on Nevada, who finished 8-4, 3rd in the Mountain West West. Nevada's a better team than people realize, and Western Michigan did beat Pitt. This could be an interesting game. Number 33, the Military Bowl. Boston College finished 6-6, 7th in the ACC Atlantic. They finished dead last, and they still made a bowl. They're going to take on East Carolina, who finished 7-5, 4th in the AAC. Don't know a lot about either of these two teams, but finishing dead last in your own division and still making a bowl, that's kind of impressive. Could be a good bowl. Number 32, the Fenway Bowl. SMU, who finished 8-4, 6th in the AAC, taking on Virginia, who finished 6-6, 4th in the ACC Coastal. This could be a decent matchup. I'm kind of leaning in the favor of SMU, but this will be Bronco Mendenhall's last game as the head coach for Virginia, so that could make this interesting as well. Some sub-storylines made this bowl a little bit more interesting than some of these other bowls I've already mentioned. Number 31, the First Responder Bowl. Air Force, who finished 9-3, 2nd in the Mountain West Mountain. They're going to take on Louisville, who finished 6-6, 4th in the ACC Atlantic. The records are a little bit off, but Louisville in a Power 5, Air Force in a Group of 5. Could be a decent matchup. Number 30, the Sun Bowl. That's right, I'm leaving out all the sponsorship names that I possibly can. I'm boiling it down to basic bowl names. The Sun Bowl. Forget about Tony the Tiger. This features Washington State, who finished 7-5, 2nd in the Pac-12 North. They're going to take on the Hurricanes of Miami, who finished 7-5, 2nd in the ACC Coastal. This could actually be a pretty good game. Miami kind of underachieved and Washington State overachieved. So I might go with the hot team, and that's Washington State. Number 29, the Guaranteed Rate Bowl. West Virginia, my team, finished 6-6, 6th in the Big 12. They're going to be taking on Minnesota, who finished 8-4, 2nd in the Big 10 West. Both of these two teams, their offenses not great, but pretty good defenses. Quarterback comparison, Jarrett Doege actually had a better season than Tanner Morgan. This could be an interesting game. Hopefully West Virginia can pull off the win. Number 28, the Arizona Bowl. In this bowl, we have Central Michigan, who finished 8-4, 2nd in the MAC West. They're going to take on Boise State, who finished 7-5, 3rd in the Mountain West Mountain. I think this is a good matchup. This could be a very entertaining game. Boise State, I know, a little bit of a letdown season, but Boise State went on the road and beat some teams that they shouldn't have beat. This could be a very entertaining game. I'm probably going to watch it. Number 27, the Pinstripe Bowl. I like this matchup. Maryland, who finished 6-6, 5th in the Big 10 East, going up against Virginia Tech, who also finished 6-6, 3rd in the ACC Coastal. West Virginia played both of these two teams, lost to Maryland, beat Virginia Tech, so I'm interested in this bowl. I'm going to watch it. Number 26, the Liberty Bowl. Mississippi State, who finished 7-5, 4th in the SEC West. They're going to be taking on Texas Tech, who finished 6-6, 9th in the Big 12. I do think this is a little bit of a mismatch. I'm leaning towards Mississippi State. It could turn into a blowout, but who knows? Texas Tech might be able to make this a good game. Name recognition is there. Mike Leach playing his old team, Texas Tech. So a lot of sub-storylines that make you kind of interested in this bowl. Number 25, the Texas Bowl. LSU, who finished 6-6, 7th in the SEC West. They're going to take on Kansas State, who finished 7-5, 5th in the Big 12. This is going to be Ed Orgeron's last game as head coach of LSU. I think the matchup is really good. LSU has a chance to finish the season with an above 500 record. I'm probably going to watch this game. Number 24, the New Mexico Bowl. This features UTEP, who finished 7-5, 4th in Conference USA West. They're going to take on Fresno State, who finished 9-3, 2nd in the Mountain West West. I like this matchup. Fresno State had a very up and down year. They beat some teams they shouldn't have, but then they lost to some teams that made you scratch your head. So it depends on which Fresno State team shows up to this game. Either way, I think it's a good matchup. Number 23, the Las Vegas Bowl. This features Wisconsin, who finished the season 8-4, 3rd in the Big 10 West. They're going to be taking on Arizona State, who finished 8-4, 2nd in the Pac-12 South. Similar records, finished in similar spots in their conferences, and this is a good defense. Wisconsin taking on a good offense in Arizona State. I like this matchup. I'm going to be watching this bowl. Number 22, the New Orleans Bowl. This features number 23, Louisiana, who finished the season 12-1, and they are the Sun Belt champs. They're going to be taking on Marshall, who finished the season 7-5, 2nd in Conference USA East. Marshall is making the jump to the Sun Belt, so this is going to be kind of a dress rehearsal for Marshall. Louisiana finished on a 12-game winning streak. I like this matchup. I'm favoring Louisiana. I think they're the better team, but Marshall is going to be coming into this game very, very hungry. They blew it against Western Kentucky and didn't get into the Conference USA Championship game. I think they're going to come into this game fighting. Could be a good one. Number 21, the Holiday Bowl. UCLA, who finished 8-4, 3rd in the Pac-12 South. They're going to be taking on NC State, who finished 9-3, second in the ACC Atlantic. NC State had a chance to win the Atlantic, but Wake Forest ended up beating Boston College. Therefore, Wake Forest won the Atlantic and went to the ACC Championship. But still, I like this matchup. High name recognition. A lot of offense is going to be happening in this bowl. Number 20, the Music City Bowl. Tennessee, who finished 7-5, third in the SEC East. They're going to be taking on Purdue, who finished 8-4, fourth in the Big Ten West. Both of these teams on the rise. Both of these teams are going to be pumped to be in this bowl. I'm expecting a lot of points, a possible shootout, and it might come down to the last play. Now we're at number 19, and this is going to be the Cheez-It Bowl. Number 19, Clemson, finished the season strong, 9-3, third in the ACC Atlantic. They're going to be taking on Iowa State, who had a letdown year. Finished the season 7-5, fourth in the Big 12. Iowa State is capable of beating Clemson. I just don't see it happening. I think Clemson is one of the hottest teams in America right now, and I think they make a statement in the Cheez-It Bowl. I do think this is going to be an entertaining game. Number 18, the Duke's Mayo Bowl. North Carolina finished 6-6, fifth in the ACC Coastal. They're going up against South Carolina, who also finished 6-6, fifth in the SEC East. So their record's not great, but I love the matchup. North Carolina, a big-time letdown year. South Carolina kind of overachieved a little bit. They both finished fifth in their respective divisions. I like this matchup. I'm going to be watching this game. Number 17, the Birmingham Bowl. Number 20, Houston, 11-2, second in the AAC. They're going to be taking on Auburn, who finished 6-6, sixth in the SEC West. Well, Gold and Blue, dude, their record's lopsided. Yeah, but Auburn beat some pretty good teams. I know they're limping into a bowl, lost on the road to South Carolina, and then got their hearts ripped out by Alabama. I think they're going to show up to this game, and I think it's going to be a good game. Number 16, the Independence Bowl. In this matchup, we have UAB, who finished 8-4, second in Conference USA West. They're going to be taking on number 13, BYU, who finished the season 10-2. Hey, I can admit it, BYU was a much better team than I thought they were going to be. They beat some teams that I absolutely did not see them beating. They're the unofficial Pac-12 South champs. UAB is under the radar team. I think this is a good matchup, and I'm going to be watching. Number 15, the LA Bowl. This features Utah State, who finished the season 10-3, Mountain West champs. They're going to be taking on Oregon State, who finished 7-5. Third in the Pac-12 North. So as Mountain West champs, Utah State's going to try to take down a Power 5, pretty good Oregon State team. I think this is going to be a good game. Number 14, the Gasparilla Bowl. UCF, 8-4, third in the AAC, taking on Florida, who finished 6-6. Sixth in the SEC East. The Battle of Florida. A lot of storylines here. Florida fired Dan Mullen. They're bringing in Billy Napier. I think he's going to do a great job at Florida, but I'm very interested to see the Battle of Florida. UCF has been claiming that they're the best team in Florida for a while. Hey, here's a chance to prove it. Number 13, the Outback Bowl. This features Penn State, finished 7-5, fourth in the Big Ten East. Kind of a letdown year. And they're going to be taking on number 21, Arkansas, who finished 8-4, third in the SEC West. Arkansas with the toughest schedule in the nation and finished 8-4, ranked in the top 25. Arkansas is building something, and I think this is going to be a good game, even though I do have Arkansas winning it. Number 12, the Citrus Bowl. This features number 15, Iowa. They finished the season 10-3, first in the Big Ten West, taking on number 22, Kentucky, who finished 9-3, second in the SEC East. Two up-and-coming teams. I know Iowa just got obliterated by Michigan, but I think this matchup is a much better matchup for Iowa. However, I'm still favoring Kentucky. I picked Kentucky to finish second in the SEC East, and that's exactly where they finished. I expect Kentucky to finish the season with 10 wins. Number 11, the Gator Bowl. This features number 17, Wake Forest, who finished the season 10-3, first in the ACC Atlantic. They're going to be taking on number 25, Texas A&M, who finished 8-4, fifth in the SEC West. Wake Forest, a really good offense. Texas A&M kind of finding out who they are. Had some good games, beat Alabama, but also had some bad games. So which Texas A&M team is going to show up, and can they stop Wake Forest? Time for the top 10 bowls now. Number 10, this one might surprise you, the Frisco Bowl. This features UTSA, who finished 12-1, Conference USA champs, taking on number 24, San Diego State, who finished 11-2, first in the Mountain West Division. They came up just short. Well, not just short. They got obliterated by Utah State. So they're looking to have a bounce-back game. I think this is a very evenly matched game. I think it's going to be an exciting game, and I'm definitely going to be watching the Frisco Bowl this year. Number 9, another bowl that might surprise you as far as being in the top 10. That's going to be the Boca Raton Bowl. This features Western Kentucky, who finished 8-5, first in Conference USA East, taking on Appalachian State, who finished 10-3, first in the Sun Belt East Division. I think this is a good matchup, very evenly matched. I think it's going to be very entertaining. Could come down to the last play. And whenever a bowl comes down to the last play, that is must-watch television. Number 8, the Peach Bowl. Number 12, Pitt finished 11-2, ACC champs. They're going to be taking on number 10, Michigan State, who finished 10-2, third in the Big Ten East. Michigan State had playoff hopes, but they kind of finished on a weak note. Pitt, of course, finished on a strong note, winning the ACC. And this is going to feature a game with two pretty good defenses and offenses trying to figure out who they are. I think it's evenly matched, and I'm going to be watching it, hoping that Pitt gets obliterated. Number 7, another bowl that might surprise you being in my top 10, and that's the Cure Bowl. Northern Illinois, 9-4. The MAC champs taking on Coastal Carolina, who finished 10-2, third in the Sun Belt East. Both of these teams up and coming. I know Coastal Carolina, kind of a letdown year. I like this matchup, though. I think it's going to be exciting. Number 6, the Alamo Bowl. This features number 14, Oregon, who finished the season 10-3, first in the Pac-12 South, taking on number 16, Oklahoma, who finished 10-2, third in the Big 12. Both of these teams had playoff hopes and finished well short of those goals, and now they're matched up in the Alamo Bowl. I think it's a good matchup. A lot of offense is going to be played. This could be a 50-something to 50-something final score. Time for the top 5 bowls. Number 5, the Orange Bowl. Number 3, Georgia finished the season 12-1, first in the SEC East, taking on number 2, Michigan, who finished 12-1, Big Ten champs. Look, I think this is going to be the revenge of the Georgia. I think they laid down for Alabama. I know I've said it multiple times. I think Georgia obliterates Michigan. I hope not. I really hope this is a good game, but I see the Georgia in the regular season didn't match the Georgia in the SEC championship game, and they're going to have a chip on their shoulder, and Michigan will be their victim. Number 4, the Fiesta Bowl. Number 9, Oklahoma State finished 11-2, first in the Big 12, but not Big 12 champs. Taking on number 5, Notre Dame, who finished 11-1. Brian Kelly is off to LSU, so it's going to be interesting to see how Freeman does as their new head coach. And Mike Gundy, what can I say? He almost came back and beat Baylor. I like this matchup. I'm going to be watching the Fiesta Bowl. Number 3, the Rose Bowl. Number 11, Utah finished the season 10-3, Pac-12 champs, taking on number 6, Ohio State, 10-2, second in the Big Ten East. This is the first ever Rose Bowl appearance by Utah. Not Ohio State. They've been to the Rose Bowl many, many times. But how excited would the Buckeyes be to be in the Rose Bowl? Because remember, they wanted to be in the playoffs as well. Everybody was talking about Ohio State, Georgia, destiny. We all think that Ohio State is the only team that could possibly beat Georgia. Well, now, not only is that not true, Georgia got beat by Alabama, and Ohio State's in the Rose Bowl. I still want to watch this game, though, to see if Utah can pull off the mild upset against the Buckeyes. Number 2, the Sugar Bowl. I really like this matchup. Number 7, Baylor finished the season 11-2, Big 12 champs against number 8, Ole Miss, who finished the season 10-2, second in the SEC West. Offensive fireworks all over the place, and we saw Baylor's defense step up in the Big 12 championship. The defense for Ole Miss was much better this year as well, but seriously, guys, this is going to be all about points. This one could be a 60-something to 60-something football game. This is a must-watch bowl. I love this matchup. And, of course, that makes the number 1 bowl the Cotton Bowl. Number 4, Cincinnati, 13-0, AAC champs against number 1, Alabama, finished the season 12-1, SEC champs. How is this game going to go? I don't know, because Alabama struggled throughout the regular season, but all of a sudden they looked great against Georgia. Cincinnati has been consistent. There was a few games where they had some letdown games where style points were nowhere to be found, but they got through the season undefeated. Things fell where they needed to fall for them to get to the playoffs. Can Cincinnati knock out Big Bad Alabama? A lot of storylines in that bowl. And, of course, a trip to the national championship is on the line. And that's why I definitely have it as the number 1 must-watch bowl of the bowl season. Y'all let me know what you think about my list. Where did I get it wrong? I'm sure I had some bowls in the wrong place. That's all I got for you for this show. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you on my next show.